Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to start something brand new. We'll talk about methods in Java and what those are. So hopefully up to this point you know how to create a class, you know how to do printlns, you know the purpose of main method and some curly braces. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and make a class of my choice. Let me just do public class Friday and then opening curly brace and closing curly brace. And let me go ahead and put the main method inside of there. Again, this is how the main method goes. What is going on here? And then an opening curly brace and a closing curly brace. And so this is basically how I will be able to write and start any Java program that I want. And let me go ahead and compile it, save it. Again, I'm going to save it in my downloads. And let me save it. And there's that. So we talked about how to print something. So let's go ahead system.out. Let's just go ahead and review that. System.out.println. Let me just say today is Friday, which again it is true. Today is Friday. And system.out. At least when I'm recording this video, today is Friday. Maybe some of you guys watching it, maybe it's Tuesday for you guys or Monday. Who knows? But that's besides the point. Let me just go ahead and say, okay, I love coding. And let me just go ahead and print something else out. I hate dogs. You guys don't judge me in the comments. I actually do hate dogs. I'm not a fan of dogs. But that's just my opinion. That's besides the point though. Let's go ahead. Let's just run this. See what it does. It's gonna throw a bunch of errors. I lied to you guys, man. For those of you guys who are watching this video who probably understood everything up to this point, probably know that this is not gonna throw any errors. At least I didn't intend to. But see how we're printing something out? Again, we can get more fancy. I can just print some more stuff out. Uh, I don't know. Let me just print keyboard smash. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. And let me go ahead and compile it. So we can just print this out. But now here's the issue. Let's say I want to print out 100 more lines of code. Uh, why would we do that though? As you can see, like the issue with that is that first of all, the main method will get really, really big, and somebody read your code will go, "What in the world is happening here?" Like they'll look at your main method and say, "You are printing a bunch of things, and I don't want to read it." And that's where methods comes into play. Method allows us to decompose the main method in a way such that somebody reading your main method will go, "Oh, hey, this person is printing out I love dogs and cats. This guy's printing out I love cookies, something." So a method is a way to be able to decompose the main method in such a way that main does not get overloaded with too much code. So, in order to do this, is we come after the main method again. All the code from here on out, and we'll use the main method. Every code you write should always be inside the class after the main method. And what you do is you come to after that curly brace. You could click enter as many times as you want, but it's preferred like one or two enters. I prefer after one enter and then another enter, so two enters. What you do is you come here and then you type exactly what I'm typing out. So you do public static void. Now here's where the fun happens. You could give method names whatever name you want. So in this case, I will call it cookies. And then you do parentheses, and then you do this curly brace and a closing curly brace. Again, this is a way to create a method. Now, what you're telling the program to do is you are telling the program, hey, I am creating a method called cookies. And I spelled cookies wrong. So you are basically telling the program that you are creating a method called cookies. Now, what purpose does this serve? As you know, what I will do in this method is I will print out a bunch of some stuff. And then what I need to do is I need to actually print it. So let's just go ahead. Let me just copy all this real quick. And let me go ahead and paste it in here. Now let's go ahead. Again, assume that the syntax for now, at least for now, is public static void cookies with nothing inside of it. But this one has public static void. Again, I'll talk about that in the next video, like why this is. And but yeah, just for now, assume that whenever we write methods, it always starts with public static void, any name you want, and then you can pass in whatever name you want, a opening curly brace and a closing curly brace. And again, it works exactly like the main method. So any code you put inside of there, you could put any code you want inside of there. For example, you could do some math. For example, you could process a file. For example, you could I don't know, request something. You could do whatever you want. Whatever you do inside a main method, whatever code you write in main, you can also write in here. And the reason why this is helpful is because now I'm able to simplify main. See how main is a concise summary? See how main doesn't have like 1,000 lines in there no more? But here's the issue. If I compile it, I can see nothing is being printed out. In order to fix that, let's say I want to print out what cookies has. Let's just call it. What you do is you call cookies, and then you do parentheses, and a semicolon. And now what this will do is it'll basically the main method. What the main method does is it calls a method called cookies. See, it basically it did exactly what we had before, which was all this was in main, but now main is a concise summary. So now somebody looking at your code can read it and say, hey, this person is calling a method called cookies. And now let's see what the method cookies does. The method cookies prints out a bunch of garbage. It prints out everything but cookies, but that's besides the point. So as we can see, this method is printing cookies, and it's called sorry, I misspoke there. This method is printing a bunch of things inside cookies, which is a method. I can have as many methods as I want. I can have 1,000 other methods. I can say public static void. Let me just say dog. I could say system dot out dot println I love dogs. I can spell correctly. Go to compile it. Okay. Some of you guys are wondering, how come I don't see I love dogs? I see I hate dogs, but that's because it was this method. We need to do the same thing. We need to call the method exactly the way that it's specified here. So dog, and then parentheses, semicolon. And then if I compile this, I love dogs. See? But let's just say I only want to print out I love dogs. I could comment this out. Again, comments are basically a way to like stop. For example, you could comment things out. So that way you could tell the program, hey, don't run this. In this case, when I comment this out, it's saying don't call the method cookies, but keep it there just in case I want to call it again. So if I compile it and run it, I can see I love dogs. It's being printed out. And we can see we could have another method. We could have a method called public static void ice cream, and I could name it like system dot out dot println I am ice cream. Oops. And I could print something else off if I want to. I am look. And if I compile it and if I run it, you can see nothing happens, but I also need to call it. And let's go ahead and run it. Again, the method order works exactly the same. So for example, it'll call dog, it'll print out everything that's in dog, then it'll go back, call ice cream, and print out everything that's in ice cream. And yeah, hopefully this served as a little introduction to methods, and we'll pick this up next time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.